Hello, everyone. We're gonna get started. I still see a few people coming in, but it's 11, so this is our time. So welcome. Thank you for being with us today. My name is Diane. I'm here with the Alliance Française de Seattle. I'm very happy to welcome you to the second event in our fall series for les Rencontres de l'Alliance. As you probably know, this is a new program, new cultural program that we launched this year. So far, it's been very virtual, as you know, and yet, you know, we continue, and as we have to, and this is allowing us this year to welcome some guests from across the Atlantic. Today, I'm very excited to welcome Justine Lévêque, Artistic Director of Champs-Elysées Film Festival, who's joining us from France, hence the unusual time. We are really looking forward to today's Rencontres, and it's also the start of collaboration between Alliance Française de Seattle and Champs-Elysées Film Festival, as this year we are taking part for the first time in the Champs-Elysées US tour. So stay tuned for more on that. We'll be announcing very soon what's going to be happening virtually in Seattle. And speaking of virtual, Justine will be doing a very interesting case study today of how she managed her film festival in 2020. So Justine, thank you so much for being here with us today, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Jen. Thank you for everything to the Alliance Française of Seattle. So, hi everyone. Bonsoir à toutes et à tous. C'est le soir chez moi. Je pense que vous commencez votre journée de l'autre côté de l'Atlantique. So, in English, so I hope you are well. I'm Justine Lévêque, Artistic Director of Champs-Elysées Film Festival. And so I'm very, very pleased to be with you today in Seattle to talk about my experience this year, which means how to organize a cultural event in COVID times, how to maintain social ties, and how to let people feel that they are taking part of a cultural and social event, even if this is a fully online event and also a fully at-home event. So just to start, I would like to share with you a few words about Champs-Elysées Film Festival. The festival was founded in 2012 by Sophie Dulac. And Champs-Elysées Film Festival is a festival dedicated to independent French and American cinema. And this is now the most important film festival in Paris. Dedicated to the audience, as well as a discovery of new talents, the festival aims at being something like a bridge. Yeah, I think we can say that. Something like a bridge between French and American cinema, as well as a meeting place for young creators. So yeah, this is something absolutely important for us to be this meeting place. It was something that it was missing in Paris to have this kind of event dedicated to young creators. So it takes place every year in June in all the cinema of the most beautiful avenue in the world, Champs-Elysées, the Champs-Elysées Avenue, and with a competition of French and American film, premieres, guest of honors, and a promising musical selection. So the beating heart of festival consists of its feature and short film competition, which highlights original works through a panorama of the latest independent production from both countries. So each year, our festival brings together more than around 25,000 audience members, as well as industry players on the Champs-Elysées. So yeah, the festival fervently defends young talents freedom of expression, areas of film experimentation, and showcase daring, original, and political films each year. So, apologize for my English. I still need to improve it, but I really hope you understand everything. And feel free to ask me some questions if something is not clear enough. So before to talk about this very unique edition, the 2020 edition in COVID times, I would like to let you discover what should be a real edition. So we're going to show you the best of the year 2019, and to this video really you're going to see a real edition where maybe it also be the future edition of the festival and not online anymore. So you're going to see the video one.
Great festival. Sophie has done an amazing job. She's extraordinary. It's together.
Well, so it was the best of the last year, and I really hope to be able to do it again in 2021. So let's talk about 2020. So in 2020, in June 2020, in order to avoid depriving the festivalier from the best of French and American independent cinema, Champs-Elysées Film Festival has exceptionally reinvented itself with a fully online and free 9th edition, which took place from June 9 to June 16. It was also absolutely necessary to pursue our commitment to highlight young talent and to be able to show our independent selection, to let them find a new audience, and for the first time of the history of the film festival across France. This online edition was actually a huge success and gathered more than 60,000 views across France. And we're going to talk about that. So you're going to see some videos in order to show you as much as possible how we did this 9th edition. And as it was 100% digital edition, videos really were our best friends, and we actually did a lot of videos. So we're going to show you the trailer of this edition, so we're going to see the video too.
Moi j'ai 14 ans et c'est l'été. Je sors toute la nuit et je veux danser. On sort en cachette, les cheveux crépés. On a 14 ans et on aime danser. On sort toute la nuit quand tout le monde dort, ouais. En 88, on aime s'amuser. 1 heure dans la rue, tu me laisses pas compter. On est une vraie bande et on aime danser. Ah, toutes les nuits. Ah, toutes les nuits. Ah, toutes les nuits. Bouger son corps sur le dance floor.
Our best to have a sunny video to bring lots of sun at home actually. So as I said, for the first time of the history of the festival, our programmation was fully online and reachable across France. And one of our main concerns was to manage to stay a cultural event and not to be just a streaming platform. It was very, very important for us actually to make the difference and to be different from those platforms that everybody knows. So first of all, a grid of programmation was putting in place for the audience in order to set up some things like everyday rendezvous. It was actually very important to also maintain our other events, which are part of our identity. In this way, Champs-Elysées Film Festival succeeds in maintaining its artistic direction with everyday new screenings, an opening ceremony, 3 beautiful juries, 2 guests of honor, which were Edgar Wright and Stephen Frears. For independent competition, a closing ceremony with the list of the winner, as well as our everyday showcase and DJ set from home. It was like a genuine film festival, but at home. So as regards short film and feature film competition, we've asked to each filmmaker to do a short video in order to introduce themselves, their own movie, such as they would have done in real. It actually really made the difference, and all the videos were watched several times. It was also a way to put a face on a name and to try to humanize as much as possible, each screening. So those videos were available before the beginning of the festival, and it was also a way for the audience to do their own schedule before the film festival, just as in normal life. So you're going to see an example, and this is the video 3.
Hi, my name is Gianna Martinsada, and my film is called Sin Cielo. The film is based on a collection of stories from Juarez, Mexico. The film required a very anthropological approach when making it, and I'm very grateful for the people in Juarez who chose to participate. To me, cinema is an art form that both entertains and challenges, and to be able to make choices creatively and to be able to tell stories that are more than just commercially viable, which is a volatile word anyway, but to be able to tell stories that are in fact a reflection of humanity and society are, I believe, necessary to human evolution. Studios, are owned by corporations, and corporations, have brands and quotas and often agendas, and it, sometimes leaves very little room for independent thought. And so independent cinema is, I think, vital to reinvigorating the form and to keep it from becoming homogenized. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the show.
So, as regards competition, during the festival, 2 feature films were online each day at 6 p.m. with a limited number of virtual seats. And the movie was online as soon as the number of virtual seats was reached. So it was like first come, first served. So it was also, it was really a way to have like a rendezvous and to oblige people to be online and to see to be online, to be sure to see the movie. It was not just like a platform and you can see it just when you want. So it was really a very important point for us to have a limited virtual seats, and it really made the difference. So, and as regards short film, they were available during the whole week without any limitation. It was also very important to be able to do both. So this is almost over, and we're going to be free to ask some questions. So just as regard our two guests of honor, they did an online masterclass on both Zoom and Facebook Live from London. And it was absolutely amazing to be able to welcome online Stephen Frears as well as Edgar Wright. And they both did a 1 hour masterclass, still available. And it was, it was really a way to let people think they are really participating to a cultural event, even if it was online. It was also an amazing rendezvous, and the YouTube link were not available just after their masterclass, to be sure that people were online to assist, to ask questions, and it was really a success. And last but not least, the audience could also discover and listen showcase from home each night. To finish, you're going to see the video 4, and this is our trailer of our music programmation. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I really tried to let you understand with a concrete case a kind of French perspective of maintaining social ties and digitized events in COVID times. So this is how we did it. And it was actually a success, but I really hope it will be the first and only online edition.
Thank you so much, Justine. That was great. I have a lot of questions. I think we have a few. First of all, congratulations on this edition. We know it's not a small feat, and as you said, the big challenge is getting people engaged, as if they were at a real event. And so my first question, just to kind of get started, was what was your trigger? What was your trigger to move online? Because a lot of festivals in France at that time decided to cancel their edition, or to just there's a lot of different approaches. So what pushed you in that direction?
Actually, it was so thank you so much for this question. This is a very, very good one, because this is the beginning of everything. It was for us, since the jury were already composed, the music programmation was over, and we also almost finished our selection. We also had enough time to be able to do an online edition, it was like, okay, if we don't do this edition, all those movies will be lost. That means that we are not going to be show them in 2021, and we really the festival was online and free, and we really didn't earn any money for this edition, but we did it for the artists, for the creation, to pursue our commitment to highlight young creators. We are not Cannes Film Festival. All those movies are very strong, very powerful, but sometimes this is a first movie, and they really need visibility, and we are this kind of film festival. That's why we did it.
Great, thank you. So let's get started on questions from the audience. First question, we are aware that Champs-Elysées was an extremely successful festival online. Are you planning to offer more online editions in the future, even if it's on top of the présentiel, on top of the on-site events?
So thank you for this question. To be absolutely honest, the last few months were quite difficult. I was almost crazy on my couch during trying to do an online edition, and first of all, when you do a festival in real, when you encounter some problem, you're able to set up things. When this is an online edition, you are absolutely powerless. Everything is about each problem is technical, and you just can't, if you don't know how to deal with it, you just cannot set up things. And it was sometimes very, very, very difficult to just be in front of my screen. Oh my gosh, okay, I can do, and really, but lots of things were absolutely positive as regards this online edition. It was a way to question ourselves, to question the festival, to how to recreate ourselves, how to be new, how to maintain, so yeah, it was amazing in this way. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to keep some elements, maybe online masterclass with US talents. Yeah, it was great, and to be honest, it cost a lot to welcome those kind of guests in France just for 2 days. Sometimes this is just unbelievable. Okay, it's almost 50,000 euros just to welcome one person for 2 days. Okay, this it cannot be possible anymore to do things like that. But I'm pretty sure that we really need to keep a social link. In France, the situation in France the last few months were quite different from the situation in the US. So this is now the second lockdown, but the last few months, everything was open, and it was all the cultural events were a success. People need to have this link. People need to be together, to share this. We cannot share things alone at home in front of our screen. And it was our main question this year: how to keep the link. And I received so many messages from the audience telling me that, oh my gosh, I'm alone at home, but I really feel that I'm here with you. I'm on the festival, and it was a big thing for us. But it was also lots of work.
Yeah, yeah, of course, I can imagine. I'll follow up with a question about that, but we do have another question about specifically why is Champs-Élysées both French and American independent cinema, and why not French only? And linked to that, can you also talk a little bit about the US tour experience so far in past editions, for example?
Actually, the festival is a French and American film festival since the beginning of it, since the creation of the festival, because it was the first idea was to it was to be something like a bridge between the French and American film industry. Also because this is in France. This is the two most famous cinema, and maybe we can say the same thing in the world, maybe. And we really want to highlight how French new filmmakers are inspired by the US, and how young US filmmakers are inspired by France. When you ask to a US filmmaker his favorite movies or his favorite filmmaker, this is always a French one. And opposite, when you
the
ask
other way around, yeah.
when you ask to a filmmaker his favorite movie or his favorite director, be sure that it's going to be an American one. So it was really a way to show to highlight a new cinema, another cinemas that don't really be
into the theaters.
France. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's why we really want to be something like a platform for young creators, to let them be together. And also because, you know, the indie cinema in France receive many helps, but there is no, I'm not sure of this translation, but there is no convention of co-production between France and the US. That's why indie US movie are not really on screen in France. And this is also, and I know that lots of French producers would like to work with the US, but they don't receive any helps. That's why the festival exists to maybe to like a link between France and the US in this way.
Yeah, and also I want to highlight for our viewers who may not know, but you know, it's the role of a festival is also usually to show a film before it gets distributed or before it has a chance to be seen anywhere. So it's really a platform from which a film can jump out into the world. So the films that you will see at Champs-Élysées are not necessarily films that you've seen in the movie theaters here or there or back in France. So that's
exactly.
It's all the new stuff that doesn't get necessarily shown yet.
And you know, here, thanks to the jury awards, at least 2 movies managed to find a French distributor to be on screen in France a few months later. And it was the case this year, even if it was an online edition. 2 movies were bought by a French distributor, and an American one and a French one. So yeah.
That's wonderful, yeah.
And this is, to me, this is the most important thing, to be able to do this. So
yeah,
as regards the US tour, to your other question, as regards the US tour, is actually the French and the US feature film competition are quite different, because the US competition, this is almost something like anonymous filmmaker. They present their movie for the first time in France sometimes. but this is not really the same thing as regard as the French competition. Sometimes they already have a distributor, and sometimes they already have some things like un entourage professionnel fort. You
Like
see what I mean?
just a strong network.
Yeah, absolutely, a strong network. So, so we actually did really a lot for all those US movie and US filmmaker in France, also for the French one, but it's not really the same thing. That's why we want to do the same in the US for our two French competition to let them find the US audience and be sure that all the US the French feature film don't have a US distributor. So this is also a way to present the some things like the new French generation in the US.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is really important to me to be able to do this and to bring in other cities that, like as New York and Los Angeles, to be able to bring very strong projects and very strong and powerful movie who tells a lot about our world. So
could you cite maybe a film that maybe our viewers would know that started at Champs-Elysées and had a huge success in France or in the US, like maybe in past editions?
Yeah, actually, a lot. We welcome a few years ago Josh and the Safdie brothers, Josh and Benny Safdie, with Stillman, Alex Rosperi, Brady Corbet, Ira Sachs, so Debra Granik, so
some big names.
very important actually indie filmmakers, and the Zellner brothers too, David Lowery. So yeah, we, as regards the American talents, we already welcome a lot of very important independent filmmakers, and we also have each year very important guest of honor, such as so this year it was Edgar Wright and Stephen Frears, and for on the past edition we welcome Abel Ferrara, Jeff Goldblum, Christopher Walken, Kyle MacLachlan, Michael Madsen, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Agnes Varda was
she's a favorite among our community, I know, for us too.
We welcome a lot of very important talents from the US, and we really, this is really a festival for the audience, and we really try to bring something new in Paris. Paris is a permanent festival, and this is quite difficult to be different from another event. That's why and this is also what I want to do. This is to just highlight independent cinema, independent creation, and to be able to be really a platform for young creators and to let them find their audience.
Great, thank you so much, Justine. Many last question. Are you already accepting submissions for the 2021 edition?
We're going to launch our call for entries around December, but I will send you everything to let you
all the details
with your community.
Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for being here and for your questions. We're gonna have to wrap it up. Justine, that was very enlightening. We really appreciate your time, and we're really looking forward to our upcoming collaboration. Please stay tuned for more for the US tour, which will be stopping in Seattle virtually this year. And don't miss our last Rencontres, which will take place on December 2nd with the consul of the Canadian consulate in Seattle. We look forward to seeing you there. Thanks again, and everyone, take care, stay safe, stay engaged, and let's continue to celebrate French-American friendship.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Merci, au revoir.